In this review, I'm going to go over this Pioneer model. It's an AVH-X3600BHS. This unit is going to be very, very familiar to you if you just watch my AVX-H5600BHS. The 5600 would be the flagship in the 2014 lineup of AV DVD receivers for Pioneer. This one here is the 3600, which in my opinion would be the flagship in the lower end or entry-level stuff for 2014. To put it another way, the 1600 would be the absolute entry-level. The 2600 would be the step-up with adding Bluetooth, and then you would have this model, which is the 3600 BHS, which adds HD radio as well as Bluetooth into that middle-of-the-road-y kind of Pioneer. So this model here has a 6.1-inch screen as opposed to the 5600's larger 7-inch screen, and also the 5600 boasts a 4-volt high-voltage preamp outputs for the guy who really is more audiophile minded and wants a high-end, really crystal clear audio sounding system. This piece here, the 3600, for the savings would give you a lower voltage RCA preamp output, but would not suffer had you had a good amplifier at the end of the food chain to feed power into your speakers. So to put it mildly, this is, in my opinion, the middle of the road. Smaller screen, still a lot of features, middle of the road for Pioneer, but very comparable to the 5600 in so many ways. The button layout on the left side of this unit is totally different than you'd find on the higher end 5600 series, for instance. Aside from that, feature for feature, very comparable, and I'm going to go through and touch on all of these things. But before we do that, I'd like to talk about what's in the box, what the back offers, all the plugs, features, wiring, etc., and a little technical stuff. So let's get into that. Very much like its bigger brother, this unit comes with a wireless credit card remote control, a 3-foot USB extension, ISO mounting screws, and a CD-ML1 microphone, as well as a real manual and warranty card for installation. Moving to the rear of the unit, we have the same 16-pin power speaker harness. Over here we have the 3 sets of RCA preamp outputs for your amplifier, which would be the front, the rear, the subwoofer, which are all dedicated outputs, none are selectable. Over here we have a dedicated rear view camera input, antenna input. Over here we have audio video inputs and outputs, dedicated USB right here, and a expansion port for the Sirius V200, which would be the Sirius XM kit. A wired steering wheel remote control plug right here, hands-free mic input, and a RGB 26-pin plug, which would be for the AVIC U250 add-on GPS system. So now we got the 3600 up and running, and I have my iPod plugged into it. Luckily for us, luckily for you, I mean, if you're just going to be using this along with an iPod and you're not going to make much use of the app radio or some of the other features which require proprietary accessories that you have to purchase from Pioneer for the Pioneer, a standard USB sync cable, which I am using for my iPhone 4S right now, works adequately fine just to do your iPod stuff. That's great for me. Bluetooth, obviously, no wiring required, so I'm good. So for a guy like me, no need to purchase anything additional for this, aside from Sirius, because I could never listen to terrestrial radio, but that's another thing. Right now you can see it's on the iPod source mode. Over here we have the volume, which is up and down, which are, you know, it's one basically solid button, and you kind of, it's not a rocker switch, but they have independent buttons, and it makes a little beep so you know what you got going on. You can kind of feel what's going on, so I think that's what Pioneer was trying to go for as far as the layout for these main buttons. So you have your volume up, you have your down, you have a mute button independent of the volume, and in the center you have your main menu button, which will take you to the home screen, which looks very much like everything else they have in the 24 lineup. As till yet, I've been halfway done with my 2014 reviews. All have looked the same. This one here is no exception, but that's yet to be seen. I haven't done the 1600 and the 2600 as of yet. So anyway, we have our icons for HD radio, auxiliary, AV input, disc, which is not loaded, and as you can see, this is a slot load because of the smallest screen size, the 6.1, as opposed to the full 7-inch motorized flip down. If you'd be so kind, go back to where you were. We have a Pandora and a Bluetooth audio, which would be direct streaming from your Android or iPhone directly to your device. Off button and your rear view camera. and your apps. Had you taken advantage of using the apps at the Pioneer App Store, which is available, and it's definitely worth a look. If you want to just download the app for free, you can go to Pioneer App Store, give it a look and see what they have if you're interested in going that route. There's a lot of good stuff. There's 30 or more as to current. As you can see, this unit does like to go back to this iPod for whatever reason. I don't know if I take that as a good thing or a bad thing. Had I been using the radio and I was trying to leave this alone, I guess that would probably bother me, but then again, if I have an iPod, you might think that I was wanting to listen to it. Shortcut icons are located on the bottom as opposed to some of the other models, which is fine. On your audio, you have your fader, balance, your graphic EQ. This one here is the same as every other model I've seen so far. It's an 8-band EQ. You have all your pretty ho-hum factory preset stuff. We don't want that. We like custom stuff because we like custom stuff. All your presets, which is nice. It's a very fluent, easy thing to do with sliding. You have one custom setting for user 1 and a second one for user 2. We like that. Your device connection, all your settings, aux input, turn them on, turn them off, so that way on your home screen you could have them grayed, or highlighted if you're actually utilizing them. If not, they go in the background, which is good. This unit is MirrorLink compatible. I'm not going to touch a whole lot on MirrorLink because that's going to be an entirely different video in and of itself because it's a lot to carry. It's a big topic. It's a wide thing to talk about for me as far as MirrorLink. I think there's a lot that needs to be spoken about. Your demo mode, which we would turn off because we're not utilizing that. Your mute attenuator, you can actually set for full mute, or you can attenuate in a certain amount of decibels lower than the standard listening level that you were at prior to hitting the button. Everscroll, which is for iPods, HD radio, any other streaming source such as satellite radio, which would continually scroll the information across the screen. You can have that on or off. Some people like it, some people don't. Bluetooth audio, again, you can turn it on, toggle it off. Your camera polarity, you can have it set for a ground pulse turn on or a positive turn on, which is what most people would use it for. And some other stuff you can see in the background, which are grayed out. Most of which most people would never even utilize. So once again, your home screen, and underneath you have the mode button, which you could toggle to go between your sources if you choose to go this route, or you could do it this way. And over here you could fast forward, rewind, change your songs, presets, whatever the case is, right here by using these two buttons. This button opens up a window, which is very cool, and this here is reserved for Bluetooth. So if you were using your iPod, or if you had a GPS expanded and added onto the back, you could do that. Have a video going on simultaneously and have all your Bluetooth going on, multi-zoning, just like Pioneer's always done. Your contacts, your redial, phone keypad, contacts, phone book, all that stuff is laid out right here. Your quick touch, touch settings are located right here for your settings, your tone, auto pickup, auto answer, whatever it is that you like it to be set up. As I said in everything that Pioneer did this year, is very cool. It's something I never even thought of, but every time I see it, it reminds me to say it again. You got the clock, you have the date, everything in the day laid out. Very cool. I mean, it's so simple, but so nice to see. It's refreshing, and to see someone actually put it up on the display of the screen. Pioneer's done a really nice job. I think they've laid out these screens really well, especially for a 6.1 inch. I think they've done a heck of a job because there's a lot going on here. You play, you pause. This functions very well. You can just go ahead and drag it and bring the screen to the part of the song where you actually want it to be. You can play it back, do all your icons like, random, replay, all those types of things. You can hit app mode right here, all in this one little section. How much stuff they got going on. It's pretty impressive. Your search button for your iPod or any other type of source that you might be utilizing it for is right here. Playlist, artists, autumn songs. Say you want to do song. Watch the speed on this. I'm going to hit the alphabet and hit S. About 2 seconds or less. There you go. You can drag and you can scroll this route, or you can use these buttons. Very nice. Very responsive, very quick to make the changes. I mean, it's very good. Up here you can see that there's a remote sensor eye, there's a reset button, and there's an eject button located right here on the front of the panel. Very clean, gloss black finish, nice and smooth. The only thing that's omitted, I wish Pioneer would have given people, is a sleeve and a little trim ring. God forbid if you needed it for that little 1/4 inch or 3/8. Sometimes you need it in a dash for an installation. It would be nice to see. And since Pioneer, as far as I can tell, no longer makes that ADT VA133 double DIN dash mounting kit, it could be a little bit of a challenge to find the appropriate installation parts for these radios. I don't know how they're going to handle that this year, but that'll be to be seen, I should say. But as a unit in itself, price point, features, I really like this unit a lot. So that's my quick take on the AVH-X3600BHS. If you have any questions, shoot us an email or send me a message. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.